Hey guys, this is Gaurav Gulbaksani and I'm here with my buddy Bam Bam on this special Independence Day. And today we're going to be talking about starting your own online business. And Bam Bam's already sleepy, but hope you can bear with me for some time. Okay, why this webinar? Well, we had planned to have a workshop in Pune over the weekend, but with people traveling back and forth, we decided that the best place to have it is online. The next thing we're going to be talking about is this for you, whether it's something that you'd be interested in starting up and taking up as a project for yourself. And finally, we're going to be talking about three proven business models that we've had success with and something that you might consider experimenting with. So moving further, it is Independence Day, so I am going to treat myself to a beer. Uh, and also wants a beer. So the end goal of this webinar is basically for you to have a list of ideas on different online businesses that you can start. The second main goal that we'd really like you to accomplish is to start believing that it's possible. It's possible to start making a living online and owning an online business. And finally, we'd want you to be ready to take the next step and move forward. Okay, so the first business model that we're going to be talking about today is e-commerce, and this would be for people who who participate in different exhibitions and trade shows and malls and clubs over the weekend, selling some kind of products. This, another skill set someone requires to have an e-commerce store is basically where they can source products. So knowing and sourcing where to get the right products to sell online is pretty important. And finally, is if you have an existing shop or sell products offline or in the real world, it's definitely worth considering starting an e-commerce store. The next business model that we're talking about is starting your own marketing agency. I think this is perfect for people who have an existing job in a similar field. Either you're doing social media for somebody right now, whether you're managing a Facebook page, or you're more in the press release industry, the public relation industry, the more marketing side of things. Definitely worth considering starting your own marketing agency. Also, people who are interested in social media, who have the understanding of social media, the power that really lies within social media. And finally, you should be willing to manage and maintain customer relationships, keeping your customers super happy. That's Adam decides to do this. Anyway, moving forward, third business model is information marketing. This is geared towards people who are passionate and who've got expertise in certain niches or in areas. If you found yourself enjoying contributing to a blog and forum and set up and forget businesses, info products, creating how-to guides, that's something that's really working very well right now. So in general, these are the three business models that we guys are focusing on and wanting to share the information that we have with you. Moving on, what you need is to succeed with any online business. I would say the number one prerequisite is patience. There are no push button softwares that make you millions overnight. Second most important thing is the willingness to learn. There's so much new stuff out there. Even if it's a new platform or a new network, you really need to be willing to learn certain new skills. And finally, is you should have funds, especially when your business is growing, in order to scale when you need to start hiring people either in-house or start outsourcing your projects. What happens when you succeed? You make more money. It could be passive income, it could contribute to your existing income, but there's definitely money to be made on the internet. You also do build a strong network of people who are like-minded, who do own online businesses, and finally you become an online entrepreneur, which I think is really cool. Bam Bam's ready to get started. Okay, go. Jump. Jump down, Bam Bam. Okay, so what happens if you give up? There's this syndrome which was called "it was my idea" syndrome. When you see something successful online, you're like, "Oh, I thought about it 2 years ago, but really didn't take any action. Now it's a runaway success." If you don't have an online business or continue doing exactly what you are doing, you'd kind of be stuck in the same place. And finally, I think the greatest motivators when you start seeing friends succeeding online, you definitely want in. So if you give up right now and you have this mental block that there's no money to be made online, um, is a drawback of giving up right now. Uh, Bare-bone essentials to getting started online with an online business. I definitely think you need a credit card. There are subscriptions, there are things that you need to be able to buy. So without a credit card, it's kind of going to be way more difficult. You need domain names. Domain names are basically essential for most online businesses. And finally, you need hosting space where you can upload your projects and see them go live. I'm getting, he's sat down now. Uh, what's the next webinar? So this is going to be a really short webinar. We thought of doing it last moment, it being Independence Day. Thought have a financial independence day kind of webinar. But in the next webinar, we're going to be talking about picking the right domain name, choosing the right platforms to work with. It's really imperative that you get this right. And finally, walking you through a real life business plan, something that you could put into action and start believing that it is a viable business option. Thanks so much for being part of our first webinar. It was pretty short. Typically, our webinars will last anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes. I know it's a holiday and you've got plans, but really wanted to get this out today. Uh, we have a forum, onlinebusiness.org/forum. We'd love for you to come and contribute there. If you've got any questions, any kind of business model interests you, feel free to share. Also, we are relatively new. This is, in fact, the first webinar that's going out. So if you could help us grow by sharing us on your social networks, we'd really, really appreciate that. And finally, enjoy the rest of your day. I sure am. Thanks for being here with us again. Cheers. This is Gaurav.